Okay, so let's move along now and talk about tempo. Tempo and children. If you know kids, you know they like to go fast. Fast is sometimes very good, but many times it's very dangerous, especially in a contained classroom. So when we teach tempo, if you can take the kids outside and let them learn about it with large body motion, right? They're going to be able to run, walk, hop, skip. They're going to feel all different kinds of rhythms in their body, and they'll be able to speed up and slow down without banging into anything. But if you're in a contained classroom, you can use body percussion to teach tempo, and you can also move with the children in a circle in baby steps, or you can teach them to move in their own personal space bubble so they're not touching anybody else, and you can use a drum or the back of your instrument as a drum to set the tempo. So whatever way you want to do it, think about your ukulele or your guitar as a drum, and you can tap out the beat. So if we're going to go fast, your beat could be like this. Ta, 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 ta. Or if we're going to go slow, we could be going ta, 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 and speed it up from there. And if you have them do something physical to the beat, the sound that you're making, they're having to match the beat. And again, that goes right back to early reading development and language acquisition. We want the kids to be able to modulate their tempo with the steady beat as it is forging these very important good neural pathways. Let's learn the song Michael Finnegan, and let's learn this song to remember how to scaffold learning, but also to teach kids about tempo. There is a great deal you can do with this song. So I'm going to begin it by modeling the song. You all know that when you start a lesson, giving kids the big picture and the inspiration is really good practice. One of the things I've done to teach Michael Finnegan is looked on YouTube, and I found a very funny old video. It must have been shot in the 70s. The video quality is awful, but it is just an absolutely brilliant pictorial demonstration of the concept in the lyrics, including wind coming up and blowing up the actor's beard back up into his face. And very young children these days are born into families many times that put a phone or a computer near them or in their hands from the time they're very small. So I'm going to take a little departure here for a quick second to tell you about the alpha generation. I've been doing demonstration classes and working in early childhood classrooms in San Diego, and this year I'm seeing something very different in our kinders and first graders. I'm seeing kids that are really having trouble focusing because they have been raised with technology. They're so used to things visually changing in front of them very quickly, and because they are touching screens and getting reactions, they're more geared to visual imagery and video than previous generations. In addition, if they're in a family where there's a lot of technology use, it can even be that the dynamic between the parent and the child is interrupted frequently. So if you've got a parent that's very fixated on Facebook or has a lot of social media going on, or there are a lot of selfies going on, that child may not be getting undivided one-to-one conversation and focus the way children in other generations have. So these kids are coming into school, and many of them have weaker auditory skills, and they also don't know necessarily where to look. They have to learn how to find the speaker with their eyes, and they need to be taught the social interactions that might have been more natural in an earlier time. So one of the things that my co-teachers and I are discovering is that video is a really important entry point for these alpha kids. So if you can show a video of a song before you teach it, that can really help it stick. It really gets the kids engaged with it. So I hope that information is helpful to you. If you've been in the classroom for a long time like I have, it means you need to get some new tools in your toolbox to work with children who are coming in with less of the interpersonal and more of the video and technological in their brainwaves. Okay, so Michael Finnegan, if you can find a great video, good entry point. Otherwise, find a recording, and we want the kids to hear the whole thing. So this is how it goes. And I'm using my guitar capoed at the 5th fret in the key of C. You don't have to do it that way, but I'm giving it to you in a key that works for both guitar and ukulele. Okay, so here we go. There are a lot of verses to this. I'm only doing the first one. There are about 9, and they are all pretty silly. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. That's the whole thing. You can go slower. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. And of course the kids love to go faster and faster. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew up, blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. And they think that's hilarious. So that, of course, can get them very tired out, and then they're all going to need to rest. If you have not yet taught your students how to hold hands and walk around in one direction in a circle, this song is a great opportunity for that. You can also teach them how to take baby steps into the center and then walk very carefully backwards. And these kinds of neural spatial movements are important for their brain development and also for their sense of body awareness. So with this song, we can have them all circle up, hold hands, not stand too close, and they can walk to the slow beat. And if they don't know their right from their left, this is a really good opportunity to teach them that as well. You can do that any way you like, with a sticker on a shoe, to a cue on a wall, to clockwise, counterclockwise, but the kids do need to know this stuff. So we can go like this. While we scaffold, we can go walking in a circle. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. And after that, they repeat it. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. In your turn, you say, he grew whiskers on his chin again. And then cue them. He grew whiskers on his chin again. Your turn. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Their turn. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Your turn. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. Their turn. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. They'll get it pretty quickly, and then you can reinforce the learning as they go the other way in the circle. You can add rhythm instruments to this. It's a blast. And then you add your instruments. Now, if you've got a couple special strummers, and one is on your right and one is on your left, and each one of them is holding an ukulele, they're right here. And you can make sure that they're strumming on the beat with you. And sitting close to you, they can match their arm movement to your arm movement. And then when you're all playing together, it sounds glorious. So, also, this is a great day to have parent volunteers come and stand in the circle. You could have them stand at 9 o'clock and at 3 o'clock if you've got 2 of them, and they'll help the kids move in the right direction. I really recommend working with your volunteers for this kind of a lesson. So now we're going to play it with the guitar or your ukulele. So I'm going to invite you to pick up your instrument, and I'm going to teach you a different way of cueing. If you've got your student strummers on both sides or you've got a strumming station, whatever you're doing with the kids, you can use hand signs to cue your chord changes. So for the off, we can do off, and for on, we can put one hand on top of the other hand. So if you want the kids to all strum down with you on off, you can go like this. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. Here's that chord change. Your hand's going to go on. He grew whiskers on his chin again. Here's the chord change. Back off again. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Here's the chord change for 2. Poor old Michael, off. Finnegan, begin again. So this time, instead of my playing with you, I'm just going to cue you to do the playing, and I'm going to use visuals to count you in. Okay, so we're going to do this. 1, 2, ready, strum, off, off, ready, let's sing. There was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew off and blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. See how easy it was? You didn't have to look down. You didn't have to read the music. You could just follow the hand signs. Very, very simple. Okay, so that's Michael Finnegan. The one thing I would tell you is if they're going to do body percussion in the beginning, sitting down, it's going to help them get the chant, help them across the midline. And when you get them up and standing, don't speed up until they're really, really good at moving safely around the circle, or you're going to have kids crashing into each other. And they think that's funny until they get hurt. So we have to be safe. All right. Which is, another thing about music is it is very stimulating. And so knowing as an educator how to bring the kids up and then contain them and bring that energy down is critical. And that's one of the reasons we need to use tempo artfully. If you want the kids to calm down, what do you do with your tempo? Right. You slow down. So if we want to have everybody ready to go on to the next activity, we're going to end our Michael Finnegan activity with, there was an old man named Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chin again. The wind blew up and blew them in again. Now we're really going to slow it down. Poor old Michael Finnegan, begin again. And you can cue the kids to sit right back down on the floor by that last syllable.